Hi Taurus, I hope that everybody's doing well. Before we get into it, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. It seems almost like something's in front of your face, but you're missing it. It's almost like I'm seeing, I'm kind of seeing someone standing and it's like a building or something blocking your view from like what you're supposed to actually be seeing. I'm looking at the sun in the Eight of Swords here. It's like there's this sense of joy and happiness that's opened up to you, but there's a sense of maybe anxiety at times. There's something that's keeping you stuck. It feels kind of like I'm getting the image of a dog on a leash. But then like as you being the dog on the leash, but then you recognize that this notion has been coming through in so many of the readings. I think it came through specifically in the Virgo reading. It's like you recognize that what's been holding you back is you from feeling this. It's kind of like you're on the edge of something and you're about to dip your toes in. But yeah, something's keeping you held back, but it's self-imposed. But you're working on it. Maybe there's even something you want to do. However, maybe like fear, doubt, anxiety could be holding you back a bit. It's like maybe you feel worried in some type of way. Like I'm seeing you actively working on the things that keep you boxed in, so to speak. That notion is coming through strongly. It's like these places where you want to, I'm hearing where you want to activate. However, like you find yourself holding yourself back. Working both on boundaries. And I'm getting a notion maybe of advocating for yourself as well here. It's like, it has me thinking that maybe it's about figuring out whom it's necessary to set boundaries with, and then who you don't need to be so defensive with. It's like who you can let your guard down around, and this notion of differentiating between different energies and how you want to be around them. It's almost like not being able to allow yourself to kind of let go. I have that feeling, but there's a sense of like you being aware of this, because I'm not just seeing it happening in a place where you're stagnant and you don't know. There's a sense of knowing about this, and there's a sense of working on it, and there's a sense of making progress is what I'm hearing with this. You feel like the work you're doing right now is necessary in order to get you where it is that you're trying to go. Yeah. You want to do something where you're going to be expressing yourself creatively, and there's a sense of questioning if you are if you like have the level of skill that you need in order to do this. It's like if you can be organized enough, if you can take charge enough, if you have the qualities necessary for you to be pursuing this thing that you want to be pursuing. I'm seeing it be like creative, artistic. I'm also hearing spontaneous. It's like a way that you want to shine, but then, and it's like something that it seems like you would do well with, but again, there's this sense of like anxiety maybe holding you back, or even overthinking about this, about like what you're capable of. That's what's at the bottom of this. So it seems like something quite psychological that you're facing. You may question, this is what I'm getting is the background of this. You may question yourself when it comes to you in a position of power, because there could have been somebody you were around in the past, maybe in childhood. For some of you, this was throughout adulthood, is what I'm hearing. It's like somebody that may have been more so like domineering or controlling or micromanaging when it came to you and the way that you express yourself. And now it's like you have the opportunity to be expressing yourself, but there's that motion of you questioning yourself now because of this past experience that you had. This is what I'm picking up on. Yeah, so something definitely deeply psychological that's affecting you in this way. So maybe about, yeah, reminding yourself where you are now, and that, like, how things are in your, like, immediate vicinity are different than, like, the past experiences you had. So it's kind of like pulling your past self out of that and into where you are presently, and recognizing where you are and how things have changed. I'm also hearing it feels very much like working through a lesson about why you overthink and why you hold yourself back. But you're on the path to getting exactly where you're trying to go. I'm seeing in the very near future, you're going to be reaching a goal that you've been working towards. I'm seeing a lot of mirroring with the numbers. Yeah, for some of you, there are some boundaries that you're setting when it comes to your work environment. I saw 8:44 on the time when I looked up. This is about you either setting boundaries with a coworker or a boss, somebody possibly that you collaborate with, and or this is about you defending yourself while you're in a position that you have worked to get to. This is about knowing that you can both pull something off, like in your interpersonal life and also maybe in a career setting as well, and maybe you're bridging the gap. It's like both your creative side, I'm hearing power, and I'm also seeing something when it comes to like a more professional front as well, and a role that you play in that regard. For some of you, there was also a question about whether something that you wanted to pursue would pay off for you as well. I'm also hearing, am I going to find what I'm looking for? Yeah, I'm seeing a worry. And for some of you, this is financially based. It's like, if I go on pursuing this thing, if I'm the only one responsible and accountable and I have nothing to fall back on, is this actually going to work out for me? And there's a sense of anxiety that you're moving through and worrying, but I'm seeing this sense of this being worked on. You may have even worried about this to the point of like your routine kind of skewing. Maybe you weren't sleeping, maybe oversleeping. Maybe that's also how, like, a coping mechanism as well when you're experiencing anxiety. I'm also hearing the word dread. But it seems that because you're sticking with it, you're going to be able to make it through. Because I'm seeing you be like, there's a lot of like worry and doubt that I'm seeing mixed into this about like whether or not something is going to work out for you. Like, am I going to get what I need? Am I going to make what I need? Is this going to be what I need? And worrying about this and feeling like this war within that that may feel confusing at times, or may like continue like reinforcing this sense of self-doubt that you feel. But I'm seeing that you're moving away from this. So it's like all of this worrying. I'm also hearing confusion, all of this like internal conflict that you're feeling. I'm seeing you move away from this. It's like you understand that when you perpetuate certain emotions and like dwell in them, that it keeps you in a place where you're feeling activated in that way. So there's a sense of like really changing the direction of your thinking. And maybe even defending what it is that you're trying to do here. And maybe this is like a dialogue that you're having with yourself prior to even breaking out and talking with anyone externally about this. It's like settling with yourself here about what it is that you're pursuing, and that you're going to do it regardless. Like, even if you are experiencing like doubt and anxiety and overthinking at times, it's like something that you know if you consistently work through, you're going to get to where you're trying to go. So it's like talking to yourself in an encouraging way and knowing that you're going to stick with something and like making the commitment to do that. I'm looking at the sun and I'm looking at Saturn here. The sun is about like our ego and how we want to express ourselves and like who we are at the core of our being and how we want to shine. And it speaks about our creativity and our inner child and our playfulness and our relationships as well. Although I am seeing this more so be like the internal process. And when we talk about Saturn, we talk about an energy that speaks on like scarcity and like restrict yourself and save things so you make sure you have enough and like don't take that chance and in its shadow. And I think that this is all about taking those energies, because I'm seeing a hard contact in somebody's birth chart with the sun and Saturn, and experiencing that I'm hearing tug and push and pull. So maybe yeah, it's some type of, I'm not getting a specific aspect. I'm just seeing that they are aspected with one another. The beautiful thing about this is that in addressing it, in like bringing the light to it, there's a sense of like not cowering in the corner anymore because of these thoughts that you may be having. It's like bringing them into light and being able to be like, yeah, there it is. That's what I've been feeling. And it's okay that I'm feeling that, and like sit within that and observe that and witness that. So it's like you're not giving it power anymore. Because sometimes when we push things down and when we deny them and when we sit in them in a way where we're dwelling in them, you are so zoomed in that you're not seeing the bigger picture. So this is about taking a step back and being like, I am feeling that, and it's okay that I'm feeling that, and like being okay with this emotional process that you're going through as well, and still continuing to pursue what it is that you want to be pursuing, and doing so confidently. Because I'm seeing like the more you're tending to this aspect of yourself that wants to be expressing itself, the more that you're feeling this sense of harmony and this sense of balance and this sense of like being at peace with this aspect of yourself that wants to be released and wants to be expressed. It's just reiterating what I'm saying. It's like that part of you that wants to shine, that wants to express itself, the creative aspect of you, and bringing it together in a way that's harmonious, and learning how to do that dance where you're actually able to shine in that way. Being patient with yourself, transmuting energy, and alchemizing these different aspects. Also processing, digesting what it is that you're feeling, where it's coming from. And continuing to pursue what you love and what you find freeing, what feels liberating to you, what feels empowering to you. What is it that you want to give birth to creatively? What is it that you want to produce as well? And how do you bring all of that together? For some of you, there's been something that you've been working on creatively that you're making leaps and bounds with. It feels like more and more you continue getting in touch with yourself, and you go deeper and deeper every time. There's also a sensual aspect here, like embracing how it is that you want to express yourself as well in that regard. With the Queen of Wands and the Empress, it's like embracing all of the aspects of yourself in order to express them, and not feeling like you have to leave any part of yourself out of that. Yeah, what I'm seeing is with the Empress here, in this context, it's like you have some type of creative idea or notion, and it's something that you hold within you, because the Empress speaks about being fertile with an idea and like holding it and carrying it to term. And I'm seeing something that's like ready to be birthed, ready to be produced, and it's something that you've absolutely been guided to do. I'm looking at Spirit, and I'm looking at Jupiter, and Jupiter is all about, I'm hearing creation and expansion, and what you want to make of the opportunities that you have, and how you're going to take advantage of the opportunities that you have as well. So now I'm seeing that once whatever this is has been, once whatever has been being worked on creatively, like what it is that you want to be pursuing, I'm seeing like the product be here, and then I'm seeing it be like dispersed in some sort of way. It's like spread around. With the King of Pentacles, it's like something that finally comes to term and is ready to be like mass produced in some type of way. Communication, writing, like is some way that it's given out and spread around. And doing so in an authentic way that feels like it's really coming from the heart as well. Because it's something that you love, because it's something... This reminds me, it's like when you talk to somebody that does something they love, like a writer, a poet, for example, you have a conversation with them and what you hear is about someone that feels like they can't live without writing, like they can't live without whatever craft it is that they do, that they express themselves with. And that's very much what I'm seeing here. It's like this way, this form of expression that you feel so drawn towards. I'm feeling with the Lovers here about how you want to expand and how you want to like show off your skill set and what you want to be sharing with the world. And it's all ignited by the passions that you have and what you do with them, what you produce with them, how you create, how that makes you feel, and you then going about sharing that with others. In this spread, I'm looking at Sagittarius, Venus, Taurus, Jupiter, and Gemini. All right, my friends, at 21:21, we are going to stop here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for showing up. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.